Here we go. What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Another episode of This Week, the show where we talk about what happened last week. Look forward to what's going to happen next week. But for right now, we're just going to stay right here and talk about what's going on with you. Been a hell of a week, kids. Been a hell of a week for me. So we had the Memorial Day weekend last weekend. Traveled out Tuesday to California. I'm on the East Coast, so that was quite a trip. Got back late last night, so didn't have a chance to really get a head start on some of my projects. So expect those videos to come out probably a day later. Look for something. Hopefully, I got something planned. Hopefully Monday night I should have something for you. So be patient with me. Just bear with me, and I'll get you something real soon. How's everybody doing tonight? So before we get into some of there's actually something that dropped half an hour ago. It just happened in regards to RK1UP E3. Could be the worst kept secret from RK1UP so far. But we'll get to that in just one second. I wanted to talk about a couple little, a couple pickups that I got. So I picked this up. Got my stool to match my other X-Men versus Street Fighter cabinet that I got. That's going to go in a new location that I'm going to have. I'm actually going to have, I've got a space, and we're going to have an arcade. And I say we because you're going to go along on this journey with me. It's a basement that we're going to convert into an arcade. And so I'm going to do some videos over there kind of converting that space into something that's maybe, hopefully, the ideal location for an arcade. But yeah, so this is going to go over there with that arcade cabinet with a bunch of other stuff. I think I told you a few weeks ago I picked up a Black Series Capcom, not a Capcom Legacy. See, I'm using the wrong terminology. It's the head-to-head Street Fighter 12-in-1 Black Series. Second hand from a guy, but he still had the box, so it was in really good condition. Really wanted one of those. I hated I missed out on it. It was a great deal, so I had to jump on it. So anyway, so that's going to go over there. You're going to see this over there. I'm probably going to keep at least two machines here behind me. So while we do our live streams, I'll probably have, well, the MVC cabinet's going to have to stay there. I love it. It's still my favorite cab. It's my favorite game, and the poster on the wall matches. So, what are you gonna do? You can't swap that out. So anyway, but this will be over there, and probably gonna have the Alien versus Predator cabinet behind me for a while. I'm trying to fix that up, trying to work on that. And actually, I got a little tease for that. I'm gonna show you some of the artwork that came in. Since I don't have a video for you today. And man, it might be Tuesday before I can get that out to you. I got a little tease for you, so I'll share that with you as well. Something else to go over. Thought, I'm kind of the PlayStation guy. I got some PlayStation oddities. I want to show off this and see if anybody in the crowd knows what this is. So chime in. If you know what this is, you get a cookie. I mean, you'll have to go buy a cookie from somebody else. Anyway, just here. Let me know what you think that this is. Some of the graphics on the or the little, some of the details on the front is probably going to give us away, but I'll give you one more shot at this. Anybody know what this is? Come on. I know I got to have some PlayStation, fanatics out there that know what this is. Chris Davis says no cookies. Yeah, I can't virtually give them to you. I would, man, if I could, I would totally give you some cookies. Okay, time is running out. Anybody know? That was kind of cheap. This was so this is for those of you that were early adopters like me of the is it PlayStation TV? No, it's not. It's close, but no, this is something a little bit more odd. This was some of the early adopters of the PlayStation 3. If you remember, some of those fat PS3s would play PS2 games, like the discs, and so you had all this save data out there. Just floating around. Not floating around because there was no cloud back then, but you had your memory cards. Obviously, well, how do you take your memory card save data back in the day and move that over to your PlayStation 3? How did you do that? Well, there was a PlayStation, a PS1 and a PS2 memory card utility in the software, but this was a physical adapter that you would put your PS1 and PS2 memory cards into, and then you had a little USB connector on the back. This is, so I'm not making this up. Memory card adapter. Come on, focus. There we go. Memory card adapter. What's the part? Is there a part number? But anyway, this is one of those. This is one of those cool things that you could pick up at GameStop or whatever. When it kind of encouraged you to get your PS3, you know, and transfer all your game saves. And this was pretty cool. I used this initially. You know, it didn't take long. You know, over USB. The small save data file sizes just didn't take any time at all. And then you kind of threw this in a drawer somewhere. Kind of forgot about it. But yeah, I just thought this was kind of a cool thing to show off to you. Sony with the detail. Got the little memory card icon right there. Little USB. So yeah, just a little. Got the little spring-loaded door and everything, just like the front of a PS2. Just some nonsense I like to share with you. But anyway, and I don't know if you can see this. So got a little bit of I made a little bit of progress with the. You can see that. You can't see that. Here, let me show you. So I made a little bit of progress with the Raiden cap. Let me show this to you. So the PS1 is in there. You can kind of see. There's a PS1 Classic. You can see some of the wiring. And then you see the transformer right there in the corner. So all that's there for my dual voltages. And my adapters are in place. Everything's going to be kind of plug and play with the exception of the terminals on the transformer. So that is actually in pretty good shape. Now I've got to turn this damn light. It looks like an arc reactor, doesn't it? I'm Iron Man. Yeah, so I got to play around with the USB encoder on that to make sure that it's gonna, take my controls. But as long as that works well, then I have that Raiden image. I got to transfer that over to the PS Classic, and then we'll be good to go on that. So. Much less power consumption, fewer power bricks. The PS1 Classic was a fun little experimentation, but it wasn't really practical. You had to have physically had to have the disc in there, and if you wanted to change games, you had to take the back of the panel off completely. So at least this way, we'll have a bunch of games preloaded on it, and it'll be fun. So anyway, but once that gets done, wrapped up, make a video, kind of show you that, so you can be aware of what's going on there. What else is going on, kids? You want to talk a little E3? You want to talk? I know you want to talk. Well, first we got to drink. Tonight is we're still working on the Four Roses small batch in the bullet glass, as it should be. Not bullet bourbon, but bullet glass. Gift for my son. Oh, yeah. So how's everybody else doing tonight? Before we get into some of that E3 news, and especially the one thing that broke just 30 minutes ago. I think it was 8:30, and that thing broke. And I'm like, wow, that's perfect. It's right on time. Just sad that I didn't get this tidbit of information, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. So let's go to Mike Hawk Hurts first. Made it happen. You did it, kid. You did it. You're always first. Yeah, I gotta do something for you. I got to do something special for you. Since you're first comment, and there may be some discrepancies with other people that say they were here first, but he commented first. That's all I'm saying. And so we're going to give you a little something, just a little something. We'll give you a little bit of something for your first comment, and here you go. Double kick! Let's win, rookie. Being first, as always. Alfred Berger says, hi. How you doing? Joe Haro, what's up, people? Nice to be here with you all. Nice to have you here. Holla indeed. 9 Scorpions. Stephen C, what's up? No, you rock. You rock out loud. Bozo Calvin Jr., hello. 19K Box, I finally. Oh, did you? Okay. All right. Here's what's the verdict? Got my MK Legacy after waiting 8 hours. 8 hours for UPS. UPS has got to get on. Well, okay. So yesterday was Saturday. I guess we got to cut them a little bit of slack, right? And brought you got the MK stool as well. Okay. Now they're sold out already. Let us know. Let us know in the comments tonight or maybe next week's live stream. What do you think of it, man? I'm curious to see how you're taking that, how you're liking that control panel. Sup? Chris says, sup. Sup all, sup to you. Austin, what's up, y'all? We're about to get into it, Austin. We're about to get into it. No cookies, unfortunately, no cookies today. But, if I had cookies, I couldn't give them to you. I couldn't share them with you, and that's not right. It's not right. That's not right indeed. PlayStation TV. Yeah, we're guessing what that was. No, that was not the PlayStation TV. That was Sony just being Sony. They had so many. Back in the day, kids, Sony loved a backwards compatibility. PS2 was the first one to just totally incorporate a PS. It had a PS1 in it. Everything was complete. I mean, you could use a PS1 controller on a PS2. You could. I don't think you could use a PS1 memory card, but they were the same. Everything fit together. They took care of their customers, so you could easily transition from one console to the next, and that ended with that first generation of PS3s. And it wasn't every PS3 either. If you wanted the backwards compatibility, you had to pay a little bit more. But you got 4 USBs instead of just 2. You had a memory card slot, like a memory card reader, like on your computer, and it read like 5 or 6 different types of memory cards. It was really just an awesome system. Stumbled out the gate a little bit ahead of its time, but a good console nonetheless. Oh, come on, Janine. Please say Simpsons, Alias Prettiest. Maybe. I'm gonna have to get into this quick. Or y'all are going to have my head. Hey, Bill, what's up, brother? How you doing? Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Let's listen. I got it. I'm not gonna mess with y'all. Oh, Paul's like, what's the 8:30 news, K-Fox? Come on. I step away for 1 minute. I leave you kids alone for a minute, and this is what happens. Okay, so let me go ahead and just tell you. Let me just jump into it. Let me share my screen, and we can look at what Mr. Douglas Smith has to say on the matter. If you don't know who Douglas Smith is, I'm not doxing the guy. That's actually Cool Toy. That's his handle on Instagram. And let's go ahead and scroll down. Now, I was going to talk about the donuts, the pixelated donuts, but this seems to be a little more important, or a little more pertinent information right here. So he says, and this just, like I said, 30-minute, well, it says an hour ago. Yeah, so an hour. So 8 o'clock is when, no, I guess about 8:15 is when this dropped. Cool Toy has got the first look. Now, I went to RK1Up's website, can't find it there. I checked their Instagram and their Twitter. They don't have anything on their, social media. But for some reason, I guess this is the benefit of being a big YouTuber guy, he's got the first images. So this is the first one here. We can click over. You can see the control panel. Looks very reminiscent of, this looks very reminiscent of the Ninja Turtles, the one that I have, the one that some of you may have. But you can see, I don't know I'm sure you can see my cursor. Yeah, there you go. You can see my mouse. Okay, so let's take a real close look at this. Look how that is just a sharp slope. I'm looking at my Ninja Turtles, and if you'll remember, TMNT and also the Golden Axe 4-player and the NBA Jam, it would sort of kind of do this. So for the old style side panels, this is what they would do, right? They would just kind of slope up like this. But you have an exaggerated sort of cutback. This is very similar to some of the first images we saw of the X-Men 4-player cab, that exaggerated sort of sharp cutback. And I say sort of exaggerated because that's a more aggressive lean than the actual the LCD monitor itself. So it's very I don't know how this is going to really look. Obviously, hopefully next Sunday we'll be able to see some real footage of this. But there you go. And also, it's really important to notice that trackball in the center there. Not sure what that's going to do for you'd have to think that there's going to be a crowding issue unless they've expanded the total overall width of the control panel. But I think a lot of us have noted that it was already, you were kind of pushing player 3 and 4 out far. And, to add the trackball in the middle and to maybe widen that whole thing by 3 or 4 inches, you're pushing the players just a little farther out. But with this aggressive cutback right here, it may not be a big issue. Remember, I did a video way back where I actually mocked up a 6-player control panel to fit on my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cabinet to kind of illustrate the point that it could work. It looked ridiculous. I think I could have tightened that up a lot. But my point that I made in that video was that you were going to have, by the renderings, this slant, this aggressive slant right here, which I think would increase the viewing angle. So there could be some science going on here. There could be some method to their madness. You're also going to look up here. You got your standard on-off and volume control. You've got your, looks like 4 players, right? So you got your player 1, start, 2, 3, and 4. But there's this other red button here. What is that? I don't know. I don't know. So just to be totally honest with you, I have not played the Simpsons bowling game that's out there. This could be something that pertains to that. I'm not exactly sure what that would be on a bowling game. But it's obviously necessary for the gameplay of probably not the Simpsons 4-player game, but the bowling game, or maybe some other 3rd or 4th game that we don't know is going to be included on this. What else would be included on this? It's a pretty specific theme. You know, it's kind of like NBA Jam. Those were all NBA Jam games. There were 3 games, but they were all NBA Jam. Ninja Turtles, it was 2 games, and they were Ninja Turtle themed. There wasn't really room in that lineup for kind of an oddball or something off the side. But what we did see with the Golden Axe cab is a little bit of diversity there. They weren't all just Golden Axe games. Is it possible that they're going to sneak in another Konami game in here? If that's the case, what's that game going to be? What would that 3rd or 4th game be? The only limitation here is not going to be, even if it was a 2-player game. Okay, you could. That's fine. That's no big deal. And if the players are selectable, meaning that, like on the Ninja Turtles cab, if you wanted to play Leo, you know, you had to walk up to the blue, you know, joystick, and that's the only placement. That's the only place you could stand and play that character. But every other game seems to be selectable. So picking a character, no matter where you are on the play field, should be fine. You know, that's the preferred method, I think. So if you got 2 people, they can walk up to this thing, they can pick wherever they want to stand, or if it's 1 player and they got a position that they enjoy and they want to stand there and play, that's the way to go. But the only limitation here is going to be your input, so your buttons. Looks like it's difficult to tell from this rendering. I think you're going to, or not rendering, I think this is an actual mock-up at the very least. You're going to have 2 buttons, probably a maximum of 3, so that's going to limit the games that you can play. Obviously, you're not going to have any fighters in here, but a lot of beat-em-ups, which Simpsons is. So what other Konami beat-em-ups, you know, possibly 4 players are out there that we could look forward to? Nothing comes to mind right now, but it's interesting to see what we can hopefully get a really good look at next Sunday. And I think there's also a little video here we can watch. I'll turn the sound on. Okay, so you can see that marquee set back like the legacy cabinets. Unfortunately, that doesn't bode well for me as far as what we've seen in the past, what we know with the legacy cabinets. But it does, I will say this, it does sort of look, is it going to play again? Come on, play it again. Oh, this is another video. Okay, here we go. Let's check this out. So I'm you know, the side art's dope. I'm digging that blue color. The font, I mean, all that's gonna, yeah, that's totally Simpsons. I was hoping we could get a better look at the inputs. How many buttons do they have per player? I think it's 2. I have to watch that again and see. Okay, let's watch this video again. This will give us a better shot at the marquee. So you've got some legacy inspiration there, but it looks like the marquee is not in the same place that it is on the legacy. Let me pause this. Can I? Yeah. So if you'll see, judging by, you know, what I've got behind me with the Midway Legacy, it looks like it's not as recessed back. It's not pushed back as far. That's definitely good. And it looks like it's a little higher. So we're assuming, of course, that top section is going to be the same as what we have in the legacy cabinets. I know that aggressive angle that we looked at before is not what we see on the legacy cabinets. It's not that aggressive. It's not that far sloped back. It's much more. It's not as steep of an angle. So this looks like, you know, I don't know. It's it could be concerning, and it also, I don't know, to me, and it could just be me, looks like the marquee's a little bit taller. A little bit taller. Not exactly sure, but let's finish watching this. I'm not sure. I think it's something we definitely have to have somebody demonstrate this thing. you know, hopefully somebody about 6 foot tall standing there saying, "Hey, listen, we heard your feet, we heard your complaints." Yeah, see, the marquee is not as recessed back as it was on the legacy cabinet. So okay, so there we go. Win number one right there. That marquee is not in the same place. Is it in a better place? I hope so, but it doesn't look like it's in the same place as a legacy. Also, I mean, if you just give this a quick look at that monitor. That angle's pretty laid back, right? Look at that. What are you thinking? It looks pretty laid back to me. I think, I don't know. I don't want to be too hopeful, but I see two things that are very very encouraging. So if they truly did, maybe they decided, hey, listen, we're kind of stuck with this side panel style because we've already made however many they made, 1 million, whatever they've made. And we got to put the decals on all that. But hey, real quick, go out there and tell Joe. I'm assuming his name is Joe. Change the whole location of this screw right here, and let's move that that marquee up a little bit. Okay, sounds good. Joe said that's going to work. Great. Okay, now let's also make. Really, this would be if you got a computer controlled router. This would really just be. This would really just be a matter of changing that whole location. And then obviously the tabs or the holes that are drilled partially into the side panel for the dowels. And then they could just alter the router angle here that the panel kind of sets into, the monitor support panel sets into. They could just alter that angle. Probably still keep the same side panel design that they had originally. And that may be as easy, just as easy as that. So. Yeah, I think that's okay. That's definitely, assuming this is a production model, that is definitely laid back. Way more. Yeah, I'm like, it's way more. I think that, so what we had with the Legacy is 10 degrees. I think we had 20. Yes, I had 20 with the Gen 3. This is looking way more like 20 than it is 10 for sure. Because 10 is damn near straight up. So that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Let's keep playing and check this out. I'm just trying to get a look at how many buttons. I don't know. It looks like, okay, right there. If you look at the yellow, it looks like there's just 2 buttons per player. Okay, so that's going to limit the amount of games that they can have. But standard beat 'em ups, would be fine. Something like a Final Fight where you just have a jump and a kick, or an attack and a jump. It's probably going to be what you're limited to. But okay, so it looks like 2 buttons per player. Look at her. She's happy. I mean, come on. If she likes it, we're going to love it. Look at Jennifer. Her name is Jennifer. Let's call her Jennifer. Let's just call her Jennifer. Her name is Jennifer. Jennifer's excited. She remembers The Simpsons. Well, she's far too young to remember. She remembers the current Simpsons, or she remembers her dad telling her about when The Simpsons came out. She does remember the arcade cabinet. She doesn't. She's far too young. But she longs for that time when she could play that, and now she can. So congratulations, Jennifer. Yeah, I'm still thinking we're only going to get 2 buttons per player. That red button is still, somebody know in the comment section. Let me know. What, yes, no doubt. Yeah, Jennifer, be excited when she sees the price. Oh, what? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's going to be pricey. It's going to be pricey. Give us the games. Give us the games. Give us the games, and I think that, we're going to be, some of us are going to be willing to take that chance. Okay, so that's, I wanted to share that with you because it just dropped. What do you think? What do you think? Are you as excited as Jennifer is? Are you excited as Jennifer about the prospect of having a Simpsons cab? This has been rumored. Damn, it's been rumored for a while, right? It's been rumored for a long time. A lot of us I thought it was going to come out last year at E3. And then I thought, okay, CES, they're going to talk about it. And they didn't. What was the delay? What was the delay? So I think we can all speculate about this or that. Licensing could be a big issue. I think this is encouraging, okay? Because what does this mean? I think some of that delay could have been the fact that Disney bought Fox, and there was the transfer of power, whatever. And I think that what you may have had is, okay, listen, let's wait on this. Let's wait on this. and then let's get these other things lined up, and then we can let Arcade One Up run with that licensing once all the lawyers have had their say. So I think that's where that is. I think that also, if this is good to go, I mean, obviously, if they were able to sort of circumnavigate the rough waters of that, transition, Fox being sold, being bought by Disney, and all that, and sorting that out. Yeah, M. Tucker. Yeah, you're right. So according to the leaks, we're looking at $5.99 for this one. We'll see. We'll see if that's correct, based on something else we're going to talk about later. That might be it. So anyway, so Jennifer's excited. I'm cautiously optimistic. I think it looks great. My reservations with the 4-player cabs, though. They take up a lot of space. So you get all excited. I mean, the X-Men cab, we're all excited, yay! But then it's like, man, you're gonna be like, dude, it takes up a lot of room. I'm gonna have some more room here, in a little bit, kind of move into the arcade, the Fox arcade. But people that are, they're sort of struggling with, listen, I ain't got but so much space. All these 4-player cabs are nice, but it's nuts. And that's why, projects like this get inspired by guys like me. It's like, listen, I love Ninja Turtles, but I'm running out of room. And 4 players is great, but damn, it's so wide. So you end up making control panels like this. I think this is something that Arcade One Up should really look into. They could bang these out for freaking nothing. They already make them. It's not like this is something wild, new, and crazy. They already make this size. They just need to slap a new sticker on it, and call it good. The ROM is not in the control panel. The ROM is on the back of the monitor. So it's just a matter of, if you use the same encoder, the control panel doesn't care what it's plugged into. I could plug that into, right now, I could plug that into my MVC cab. I'm only going to have 2 buttons, so I'm only going to have 2 punches, but I could still plug that in and use that. I could take my, MVC cab and just take it and put it right over there and plug it in with all the decals from MVC and everything, and the 6-button layout, and I could play that. I obviously can't, all the 6 buttons aren't going to do anything, just those 2, but though it's literally plug and play. So if you're going to keep introducing these 4-player cabs, they're great. Sell them as 4 players, but give us 2-player options. You're going to make some money, Arcade One Up. We're going to be happy because we got the flexibility. It's kind of a win-win. So I wanted to go over a few more things. First of all, the fact that we talked about last week that, okay, E3, Arcade One Up, or maybe we didn't talk about this last week. I don't know. Time just sort of meshes. It really does. So, when you go coast to coast, you get all messed up. We talked about how Arcade One Up is actually officially at E3, and I say at E3, they're going to attend. It's going to be a virtual event, so I don't think anybody really thought they weren't going to be there, but the fact that we now know for sure they're going to be there. So let's go ahead and I want to click on briefly, just go over to the E3 website, E3 Expo. And just look, you can see if you scroll down here, this is their main page. You can scroll down. This is the event, the 12th to the 15th. So the 12th is a Sunday, so it's going to start Sunday. Curious to see when everyone's going to actually do their presentations. This looks like this is like, I don't know, company-sponsored tiers, I guess. So Pinnacle, so up top, you're going to have Nintendo and Xbox, obviously. They are the top dogs. Just under them, you're going to have Verizon, Square Enix, Ubisoft. And then you get the features like T2 and Razer. Elite is Capcom. Love you, buddy. Mythical Freedom Games. And the showcase is going to, and this is, I think these are just sponsored tiers or whatever. I'm sure you had to, if you paid a little bit more, you could be Elite versus Showcase, whatever. But you see, we got the Segas and the Namcos and all that. So interested to see what's going to go on there. And then down here under participating companies is Arcade One Up right there. Arcade One Up. So they are going to be there. It is official. They're on the poster. They're going to be in the movie. It's great. And then, of course, media partners, you're going to have IGN, which this is probably going to be where you're going to be able to find their live streams. So as soon as I have that information, I'm going to share that with you, obviously. So subscribe to my channel, please. Pay attention to the community posts where I post a lot of sort of, if I see something real quick, I can throw up there. I do that real quick where there's just a listing of something's available, some new breaking news that I don't need to make a whole video about. I can just shoot out a quick link and everybody can have that information. So that's what I'll do there as soon as I find out where we can watch their virtual presentation. But there you go. OtterBox is also, it's kind of weird to see, OtterBox and Arcade 1-Up in the same thing. They make cell phone cases, but it says gaming, OtterBox Gaming. So maybe I'm just a boomer in that. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they got some otter themed games. I don't know. Who knows? Mobile games, maybe. But anyway, so that's kind of the latest and greatest. That just dropped. Like I said, that dropped an hour ago. So I got to know what you think about that. Let me know in the comments section. What do you think about that? Let me scroll up here and see. I got to get caught up. Y'all were talking. It's good. It's good. It is very good. So let's kind of get caught up with what I thought. Yeah, okay. So 8-bit, you saw the trackball. I saw that trackball as well. Yeah, it's got to be bowling. What else would it be? Interesting. Looks like the marquee might. Yeah, exactly. It's weird. It's almost like you got to have that line of sight view, but when the camera was shooting straight on, it looked like it might not be quite as bad. Might not be quite as bad. Snowdub, what's up, my brother? How you doing? Snowdub in the house. Hail to you as well. Sentinel, what's up, man? Simpsons arcade yes, it is, man. It is coming. It is here. It's no longer a rumor. It is a reality. Can't wait to see it in the flesh-ish Sunday. Curious to see how they're going to have. They're not going to have a big booth. So what are they going to do? Is it just going to be, just some guy playing it? Or are we going to have some super up close? They have to tell us what the games list is, right? And somebody here, Dave Damage, live button. Maybe. The live button is kind of weird because when you're talking about the MVC cabs, the X-Men versus Street Fighter, NBA Jam, there was no live button. You were just Wi-Fi enabled, so you had to enter a different mode to access the internet. So the live button, curious what that means. Why would you have to activate that? Could you activate it on the fly? Could you just go live? I don't know. Interesting to see for sure. Ms. Harris, maybe no to 4 players for the 3-4 player. Yes. The player 3 and 4 kind of lose out, don't they? They don't get. They got like the worst seats in the house, and it's other than the novelty of having 4 players, they're probably not going to get used that much, right? So it's primarily a 1 and 2 player, thing that you got sitting behind you, and it's probably going to be primarily a 1 player, and for 1 person, to play all the time. So it should be optimized for that. So the Sentinel. So, dude, I'm late. Are you releasing the AVP arcades for are they? No. I don't want to mislead anybody. That decal was up because I wanted to give an update on my version of that. So I didn't want to mislead anybody. I apologize about that. No, they're not going to release that. If they release that, I'm going to have a live stream just on that. So no news of that yet, but my project, the AVP project, is coming along well. And since we're at the halfway point, let me go ahead and I couldn't really get much done this week because I just got back yesterday, but I wanted to show you this. So part 2 is going to be coming up very quickly. That's probably going to be hopefully by Tuesday. If not. So what you're looking at here, this is now all the artwork has to be custom because there's nothing out there really for this. There are a few things, but nothing that I really thought was legit, was going to look good. So this is what I came up with for the bezel. You can kind of see all that. There is the bezel artwork right there. Obviously, we're going to have to cut out the middle. I mimicked the Capcom diamond plate look as closely as possible. When you look at that against the control panel, you can see that it's the same pattern, but unfortunately, this is a little bit bigger than what's on the control panel. So this is kind of blown up a little bit more. But the majority of this is going to be cut out for the monitor. So it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. But I like the way this turned out. It's going to look really good with that hole kind of cut in it. But there you go. You can see the bottom there, some of the player information. And then some of this detail is going to be cut out, here and here. But it really does kind of mimic the X-Men versus Street Fighter bezel, where you've got Cyclops and Ryu on one side. But I wanted to include all 4 main characters. So there you go. So So that is it. Looks great. Once again, Scott over at Game On Graphics does an awesome job. You tend to get a little bit thinner vinyl when you go for like a prepackaged sort of kit, but if you do the custom stuff, if you do like your design and you go in and you pay a little bit more, but I'm telling you, it's worth it because you get this. It has like a texture to it. It's like everything is made to the specifications of a control panel overlay, where it's very thick. It's very good vinyl. You can kind of hear that. It's got a little bit of a texture to it, but it's very thick, and it's a really, really, really good product. And he just does, I mean, just a bang up job, dude. This looks badass. So I'm excited about this. So part 2 is going to be the monitor. We're going to get the bezel all cut out in there nice. We're going to obviously place our breakout board, HDMI breakout board in the back. I've actually got something a little bit trick. We usually just stick those on with some double-sided tape. I got a 3D printed bracket from somebody. I'm going to show you all that. It's going to be in the video. It's going to look nice. The idea is to kind of make this look really, really as tidy as possible, okay, to make this look as production as possible, because it's going to have just a slick interface. It's going to be amazing. I'm really, really, really excited about it. I'm taking my time. We're doing this. This is a video series in parts because I'm really taking my time. I want this to be right. I apologize. I got to put this, actually kind of hang the artwork up so it doesn't roll up on me. So something else I want to talk to you about as far as, listen, you got, okay, buyer beware. Okay, so the arcade, the Midway Legacy cabinet, I did the custom control panel. I love it. I mean, it plays great. The play field is awesome. But in finding the proper overlay, it was difficult. So I ended up coming up with something of my own with the Game On Graphics. Scott banged it out for me. I put it up there. But I also went to a few other places. I'm not going to name where I went to get this. Let me just say that if they say Mortal Kombat control panel overlay and there's no picture for the item you're buying, don't buy it, because what you might end up with is something like this. What the hell is this? The hell is this? I mean, it's glossy, which is okay. I mean, it's fine. You know, it's a good print. It's not going to rub off. But this was sold as a Mortal Kombat replacement. But it doesn't even say it on here. It don't say Midway. It don't say MK. It don't say nothing. I was just trying to see what they had out there. Now, they had a picture of the Street Fighter 2, Gen 1 cab, control panel overlay, and that had button cutouts and everything. And they said, Mortal Kombat, the Gen 2 is also available. And I knew it wasn't going to be an exact replica. I knew it was going to be like, just more of a generic thing but this? Just generic image number 4? I mean, what? I guess that's like a little bit of blood right there, maybe. I don't know, like on the corner. I don't know. So listen, make sure you get and it's probably just me being stupid. I should have seen, what it was, but the price was pretty good. I thought, well, I'll get it, see what it is. And if it comes in, I didn't think it was going to be the right dimensions. I can actually measure this now because this was supposed to be a Gen 2 replacement, and I was doing a Gen 3 thing. But this is, okay, so this would have worked. It's 11 by, is this wide enough? Okay, so this would, all right, I will say this. Yeah, so it's wide enough. Looks like they gave you a little bit of bleed, so it's a little bit bigger than 11 by 19. So this would have worked okay. But, it's just generic. It's just bland. I mean, I could have just bought some vinyl off eBay, just a solid color, and would have been better than this. I mean, cheaper, a lot cheaper. But anyway, so buyer beware. Like I said, I'm not going to say where I got that from. I'm not trying to bust anybody out, but damn, really? Damn, freaking crazy. Oh, my ice is melted. I got to talking too much. My ice is melted. It's okay. It just dilutes the bourbon a little bit. We can still drink it. We're not going to let it go to waste. We're not going to let it go to waste. So we got Simpsons, and well, let's tell you what. Let's go to chat. I apologize. I am neglecting the chat. Here we go. Where does they threw a TMNT as an add-on for the Simpsons? Damn. Never cross the streams. Never do that. Have you not seen Ghostbusters? That would be crazy. Oh, here we go. See, a lot of people talk about Sunset Riders, and I agree. I mean, it's just a fun shoot 'em up, 4-player. I believe it is 4. Yeah, it's 4-player. But something like that would be awesome. That would be awesome. You're just talking about the perfect, I mean, Blake, listen, bro, that's what everybody wanted. Back whenever Arcade 1-Up was a fresh, new little thing, we were talking about the Konami cab, and that's what we were talking about. We get TMNT, we get X-Men, we get Simpsons all in one cab. God, that would have been the perfect cab. The perfect cab. So yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Do me a favor real quick, if you could, smash that like button. Really helps out the channel, gets the word out, and hopefully YouTube will recommend my videos. So yes, that would have been awesome. And for those of you just joining us, we took a look. Let's take a look again. I want to make sure everybody has had a chance to look. I've got 50 people in here right now. Let's take another look at what just dropped about an hour and a half ago. This is a brand new leak, cool toy over on Instagram. I'm going to share this real quick. And I apologize. I'm not trying to be repetitive, everybody. We're not going to look at it as long as we did before, but I want to make sure everybody gets a chance to see what we saw earlier over on Cool Toys. It's the first official look at the Simpsons. So you got some of the artwork there. We noticed we talked about the arcade. I keep saying arcade. We talked about the marquee. We talked about the fact that if you look at that monitor, it's laid back nice, a lot better than that 10-degree angle we had on the legacy cabs. You got the control panel here, and we got some video here. Let's check it out. Bing. Obviously, this is the ROM in all of its glory, and this is the actual first look at that marquee placement, which should be better than what we have with the legacy cabinets for sure. And there's another video we'll play real quick. You can see it's got a lot of that X-Men 4-player sort of look on the side panels there. Trackball in the middle. Some kind of weird extra button. Not sure what that is. But yeah, so that's what we're talking about. It's out. It's coming. We're going to see it next week. Can't wait to find out what else is going to be on this cab. Hopefully it's more than just 2. But hey, Makini, brother, how you doing? Great to see you, man. Great to see you. Yes, slap the like button. Don't even be nice to it. Don't even be nice to it. Just slap the hell out of it. Beat it like it owes you money. Looks like some corrections were made. See, I think so, 8-Bit. I think so. And it is reassuring. If they actually took the feedback, because I know me personally, I was kind of giving them kind of some crap. I mean, I wasn't being nice about it. And it really infuriated me when they did such a great job with the 3rd-gen cabs. So yeah, hopefully they took some of that criticism to heart. And hey, you never know. If it has online play, it is something I would consider buying. It's not like I'm likely not picking one up. Mike, I don't know if online does it for me. I know a lot of people it does. You get the online functionality, and it really sort of pushes people to make that purchase, and I get that. But for me, I don't know if it's 100% the number one thing that pushes me for the purchase. I could kind of do without it. It's kind of a neat feature. That could just be sort of my age and the way that I game. It's different. That was always an added sort of like a bonus. It wasn't a main part of the game. Gaming is different now. Obviously, first-person shooters, it's all online and everything. And not that I don't like that genre of gaming, but arcades is a little bit different. Just a little bit different. I like the global high scores. That's awesome. Because really at home, who am I going to compete with? I mean, my wife, she can't touch me in Marvel vs. Capcom. She can't even come close. She doesn't even try. She probably could beat me. Nevertheless, if we have global leaderboards, we can compete with the globe. We can know what's going on globally in our area, in our region. I like to see it break down like that, like your area. Maybe not as tight as the town you're in, but the time zone or something. The area that would be actually really interesting, because you could potentially make some contacts and meet up and have some actual in-person gaming happen. But if nothing else, local leaderboards, global leaderboards, or national leaderboards, or whatever. Having it broke up in those types of ways would make a lot of sense to me. Generate just a ton of competition, and you could also, what that does is you could create regional sort of championships with all these, and it's really simple. It's just numbers, and it's just leaderboards. You're not necessarily I don't know. A lot of the work has already been done with the MVC cabs, with NBA Jam, with X-Men vs. Street Fighter. A lot of that's been done already. So Hollywood Polo. Hi, Fox. How was your day? It was pretty good. It was very busy. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw that I killed a snake today. 4-footer. Just touch and go. Almost didn't make it. Just kidding. I killed it like in the blink of an eye. The snake was like, "What happened?" And his head was gone. It was awesome. I was like a ninja. Not really. But in my head, that's how it happened. In the rural Kentucky part of the globe, of the country that I live in, it's dangerous. Dangerous as hell. You never know what might happen. Your life just could be gone like that. It wasn't that big of a snake. It was just a little garden snake. Michael B saying, "Hey, Hollywood." Hollywood. Freaking nice. That's a cool name. Hollywood. Everybody wants to be Hollywood. FYI, the first play position is still really far around the corner on the left. Exactly. Yes. Probably doesn't matter. People will rarely have 4 people in person to play. Yeah, Chris, and that was the point I was alluding to with the Ninja Turtles cab. You were first player, you were stuck way over here on the left, and fourth, you were stuck way over there on the right. If you have if you're selective, if the ROMs allow you to select the character from whatever position you play, then you can always be front and center. If you're primarily the one that plays, maybe it's, you and your wife, or you and your best friend, and you have 2 people playing all the time. You can stand at any position on the board and select your character. That's the best way to go. Because then you can be wherever you want to be. If you want to be all the way to the left, you can. If you want to be squared up in front, which is where I like to play, you can do that. Yeah, it's that first player position. It's weird. That's why that really inspired me to make the 2-player, Ninja Turtles control panel, because I'm playing by myself and I'm scooched up all the way over here, and it was just weird to look over there and I got these 3 sticks and nobody's playing. I'm like, man, I wish I could be over there. Why can't I be over there? Why I gotta be where the hell over here? Why I gotta be over here by myself? And I got like tumbleweeds rolling through the joysticks over here. It was just weird. So I'm where I want to be now. I'm squared up with my 2-player stick, and just swap it out from time to time. I got the 4-player in there now, but I'm thinking about making a nice shelf over the Ninja Turtles cabs. Hey, if you want to, you can swap it out. So you can take down the 2-player, swap it out, put the 4-player up there. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Fingers crossed that they fix some of those. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Exactly. Fox, did you get a new haircut? You got the... No, I didn't. I'm experimenting with letting the hair grow. I've always been a very short hair, military haircut type person, and it's a little wild, and you kind of see some of the gray. When it's short, you can hide that a lot easier. But thank you for the hairstyle questions. Always appreciate those as well. Any guesses on release dates? So based on those leaks that we saw, Chris, was it 2 weeks ago? We went over that in detail. You can definitely go back and check out that live stream, because what has happened now is that the link to Randy's records is gone. So you can't even click on that link and go check it out. But go to my live stream and fast forward to the part that you're interested in. And we went over all the release dates. Most of this stuff is going to come out in November. I can't remember when this was going to come out. I think it was November 1, I believe. Of this year. The earliest things we were supposed to see were going to be in September, but some of these Countercades have already come out, as we're going to look at in just a minute. Will Jennifer be excited when she sees? Yeah, I doubt it. When Jennifer sees the price, Jennifer's going to be pissed. Jennifer's going to be like, "Oh my God, I can't afford that. Maybe he'll buy it for me." And excuse me, if you got a good man, he will buy it for you. Jennifer, if he loves you, he'll buy you that cab. He will. Yeah, TMNT was 400. Simpsons should be. I don't know why it wouldn't be the same price. I mean, I know you're adding a trackball, 8-bit, so there's a little bit of cost there. I know manufacturing costs maybe have gone up some, but a lot of people are going to be asking themselves that same question, especially when you can still get NBA Jam right now for $3.99 or less, or a lot less. But retail's $3.99 and it's live. It has online capability. Arcade 1-Up is going to have to justify that price, whether they start including stools like, it's just a given. You're going to get a stool no matter what happens. And when you think about it, one stool for a 4-player cab is, you're not giving away everything. You would still theoretically need 3 more stools if you're going to have 4 players. So that's just kind of enough to get you started. It's kind of like getting a PlayStation or a Nintendo with one controller. You got to have the one controller to play the game, right? With the legacy cabs, you better start including a stool because you have to have a stool to play the game, or a riser or something. But yeah, I think that they're going to have to find some way to justify that price. We've already seen the lip marquees, and we got the stereo speakers. Even if you're throwing headphone jacks on everything from here on out, which I did not see a headphone jack on that Simpsons. Even if you're throwing headphone jacks on, that's not going to justify that $100 hike. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. People aren't going to be like, oh, the headphone jack, yeah, here's an extra 100. No, nobody's gonna do that. So they're gonna have to find some way to justify that. I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing they need to do is they need to have the control panel overlays for the Ninja Turtles available. Because damn, I've been waiting forever. I can't believe they still don't have one of those. It's just Lex saying, dude, cut some holes in it and send it to me. Here's my money, take it. 300 is usually my limit, unless it's something spectacular. Terminator 2 gun cab. Listen, Snow Dub, you are singing my song. And everybody that's been on this channel knows that you get I'm wanting something fully automatic. I'm wanting machine guns and rocket launchers. You do T2, and if let's say it's just that one game, I'd pay $400 for that. 500, I don't know, but I'd pay for it. That would be the only single gun cab that I would pay that money for. Now, I think that even if they came out with that, it would have to have something else. I think it would have RoboCop on it. It would have something else. It wouldn't just be Terminator 2. But honestly, I'd pay for it for sure. You sold 3-year-old cabs. Had to make some room for myself. See, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. A lot of people, when it comes down to these 4-player cabs, they're excited, but it's like I don't have the room. And that's why a lot of people, that's why I was very disappointed in the legacy cabs, because that was going to consolidate cabs for a ton of people. Just a ton of people were going to be able to get rid of some of their old cabs, consolidate, and when you have these weird issues with the legacy cabs, it's just frustrating. It's frustrating because I was wanting to get rid of cabs. So I was going to buy this and get rid of the, and now I'm having issues with just playing. It's frustrating. But once again, please let me know. Comment on one of my videos or hit me up next week and let me know what you're thinking about. I want to know if you're satisfied. House of the Dead, girl, you're singing my song. You know it. You come in here every week and you say House of the Dead, and my heart just skips a beat. It's exactly what I'm wanting. Exactly what I'm wanting. And I think I'm not the only one. There are so many people that are wanting those. I think that there's a real desire for 90s arcade games in all their forms, because I think that in a lot of ways was the peak or the pinnacle of arcade gaming, really. When you think about it, within the 90s, you saw 2D sort of push to its limit, the best sprites, games like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 with over 50 characters. And then you finally had the transition to 3D, and then beyond. I don't mean like beyond. There's not like another dimension. Let's not get crazy. 3 dimensions, but rough 3D. Like original Virtua Fighter, all the way up to like Tekken 4, 5, 6. You had that progression within the 90s. So it's a lot of people are clamoring for that stuff. And then you had the same thing with like the shooting cabs. You had some of that old stuff. You had the the very cartoonish sort of games Then you had Operation Wolf, and then all the way up to like now they're trying to get a little more realistic. Whereas Mortal Kombat kind of did sort of that photorealistic fighting, fighters. You had the Area 51s and those types of games, Lethal Enforcers, and then you were able to push truly into that the three-dimensional, shooters like the House of the Dead, like Time Crisis, and that's what people are dying for. I think if you want to have something and you want to ask for $500, you're going to have to do a little bit better than Buck Hunter. Buck Hunter's kind of a niche, I talked about this before, and I did a video this week. Was it a failure? You never saw that thing was almost never unavailable or sold out. And then they gave it a little $20 price dip. That price is now back up to retail. They did the same thing with the stand-up Outrun cabinet. That thing's gone too. Not gone, but it's back up to regular price. So the sale didn't last long. But the question is still the same with that cab. Was it a failure? I said the same thing about the X-Men versus Street Fighter cab. As much as I love it, I own two of them. One I'm modding, turning into the Alien versus Predator. The other one I'm keeping stock. For those just joining us, I picked up my stool. X-Men versus Street Fighter stool. So that's going to be over at the Fox Arcade, of which everyone is invited. If you're in town, in the Cincinnati area, you hit me up on hit me up on Instagram. I'm on Twitter, the communist Twitter, but I'm on it. Hit me up. Let me know. Once the arcade is ready to go, if I'm in town, because I travel a lot, everybody's welcome. And of course, with Arcade 1-Up, no quarters required. I'll even have drinks for you. Scroll down here a little bit. Do we have someone new here? I apologize. Hey, how you doing? Double LCD prices. Prices raised $100 for them to charge. Doubt. Sorry, not double. Doubt the LCD prices raised $100. That's a good point. And I apologize, Azim. I don't want to mess up your name. But it's a good point. I doubt the LCD prices are going to justify the $100 price tag. And you're exactly right. They're going to have to do something to justify the $100. They got to do something. They can't just say, prices went up. Yeah, but, what's going to happen now is I'm going to buy fewer cabs from you. You can't just add $100 to everything and think your sales are going to stay the same. If you're wanting to move, product, if you want to move volume, your prices have to be consistent with what we have expected from you in the past. And if you're going to have a Simpsons cab with two games, maybe three, and charge $100 more or $200 more, there's going to have to be a reason why. The Simpsons game is fun. I played the hell out of it. But unless that's your killer app and you just got to have it, if that's the game that's just like, man, I've been dying, boy, how many people are going to pay that much for it? I don't know. I just don't know. So yeah, they're going to have to do something a little bit better than that. Oh, dude. Lethal Enforcers, the comic cartoony way they react and they get shot and all that. It was awesome. I actually played that today on a real arcade version. You lucky bastard. Who the hell do you think you are? I'm just kidding. Unfortunately, I couldn't. I had the biggest my real arcade collection ever got. I had 2 full-size arcade games, and it just became something that I just couldn't manage. Moving it up and down stairs and moving, it was very, very difficult. And the Street Fighter cab, I think I've shown pictures before on my Instagram for sure. It broke my heart to have to sell that. It was an original Street Fighter 2. I loved it. I restored that baby from nothing. The only thing I saved was the freaking wood, right? Control panel, I completely stripped it down all the way down to bare metal and just restored everything. Game On graphics came in big time and helped me out with that one. But I absolutely loved it, but I just couldn't. I didn't have the space. Now I think I do. I think I could probably swing that, but I'm gonna reserve. Full-size arcades for me are going to be in a kind of a luxury thing, and they're going to be like a very specific thing. They're not going to be just a stand-up arcade cab. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to buy that cab anymore. But if I can work a deal, I think I told you last week about like an afterburner type situation where it's a big cab and I can get it and it's affordable and it's a unique experience. I'll jump on that all day long. But I'm not just going to have cabs, 2-player full size cabs. They're just too they're too expensive to maintain, and it's if you're going to take out the CRT and put an LCD in there, you might as well just go with an arcade one up. Pay $350, get an X-Men versus Street Fighter cab, and then mod the hell out of it. But if you do that, and listen, a lot of people, when it comes to real arcades, I'm kind of a purist. Once you take out the CRT, I don't know, man. It's like taking out the heart. It's no longer what it was. It's not the same, because that big ass frame was justified because it had to take the weight of the CRT. And when you take that out, it's just not the same. It's not really an arcade. You gotta ask yourself the question, well, why do I have this big full size thing if I'm gonna put an LCD in it? It's just the way I feel about it. Right, wrong, or indifferent. It's just my opinion. Before I get too far out of it, we've been going for an hour. I want to check out with you. I want to show you this is our first pre-orders, first new wave cabs that are available for all of us to buy right now. I'm going to look at these and I'm going to tell you which one I actually already pre-ordered over here on Target. Check this out. Bourbon. All right, let's scroll down, and they got a lot of the standard stuff. And this is the first one we saw, was the Super Pac-Man. Click on this bad boy, and you can see right there. This has been a long time coming. It's almost like why didn't they put this on there from the very beginning type thing. The headphone jack. It's kind of crazy to think about. It's like, wow, why wouldn't you just have one? But, almost like, why wouldn't you have one instead of the crappy speakers, But one thing that I will say, and I didn't make a point of saying this in my other video because I gave this a passing glance. Do you see any speaker holes? Look at the front of this control panel. I have two arcade 1-up 2nd generation Countercades. Excuse me. They have a single speaker right here. There are holes in this panel right here. I don't see them. So, did they ditch the speaker? And now you have to have headphones to play this? There's no speaker at all? Let's scroll down and see. I don't know. So if we're looking at, we got the four games in one. Adjustable volume. I mean, yeah. Surely you have to have a speaker, right? Headphone jack. I mean, it doesn't say anything about, headphones required. It doesn't also spell out the fact that it has a speaker. I mean, it wouldn't necessarily say that if it had, one speaker included. I think if it had two speakers. See, here's another one of the new cabs. You got the Pac-Man versus Galaga. Not Pac-Man versus Galaga. That's a game I want to play. Oh, damn. Pac-Man versus Galaga? Pac-Man and Galaga. But if you look right here, and I know this is just a mock-up, you can tell this is just a computer-generated image. So that's most likely, that's all this is just, hey, we didn't put the holes in there for the speaker, but you're going to have a speaker. I mean, I think you have to have a speaker. I wouldn't want to make it mandatory that you had to have, headphones. Same thing with, which I don't know. I'm kind of like Unqualified Critics. He said he misses the wood grain on the side. I do too. I do. But this looks kind of good. Now, I think my stipulation is going to be, I actually like this matte black look on the side. It looks better than the glossy black. I kind of like this matte, this subdued sort of look versus the glossy black, because it looks just like a generic sticker when it's glossy black. That's just my opinion. I like the matte so much better. Yeah, that's just kind of my opinion. But yeah, so I hope that's not something that I've just overlooked, because guess what this guy did? This guy right here. I pre-ordered Super Pac-Man. I did. This I don't have listen, I don't I know Arcade One Up is just they're known for having 5 million different variants of Pac-Man. I actually own zero Pac-Man. Pac-Man. I don't know. I have no Pac-Man cabinets from Arcade One Up. None, zero. I'm not a huge Pac-Man fan. I understand the significance, the place that it holds in arcade history. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I'm not a big Pac-Man fan. But this, I don't know. It's the freaking red, white, and blue. It's this the cartoon character that is the Super Pac-Man. It is so 80s. And like I said, again, I hope we get this muted matte blue right here. I don't want a glossy blue. I love this matte look. This looks dope. This look I and no, I'm not modding this at all. This damn thing looks sexy. I'm not lying. I mean, I know, and some of y'all are like, what the hell's wrong with you? No, I'm telling you, this looks dope. This looks good. It does. It looks really good. I like it. And what I really like, which it looks good, if you look at the games, oh come on, don't tell me they don't have a games list here. What is up with this thing? So when I did my video, I used my iPad for my videos, and on the mobile app, there's actually more detail on these cabs on the mobile app than on their website, which I'm on my laptop now. Maybe let me go to show more. Maybe here we go. There we go. Look at that, Fox. You did good. You pushed a button, you freaking moron. Okay, so if you scroll over here, you'll see. So obviously, I like the styling. Super Pac-Man, I dig. The original Pac-Man is on here too, so you get the best of both worlds. You get the before and the after. You know, before the Superman serum that he drank or whatever that he made super. You get Dig Dug, which is a classic. You know, I'm not a huge Dig Dug fan, but I like that. But I like the variety here where they added Rally X. Okay, so you get a little bit of car racing, kind of like a maze. You know, still the same sort of concept, but it is a little bit different. I like that. I like the changing it up. I don't have 4 versions of Pac-Man on this thing. I got Pac-Man, classic Pac-Man, original. I got Super Pac-Man, Dig Dug, and I got the Rally X. It's a nice little variety. I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. I understand you're going to stay with Namco. I understand you're going to stay with that publisher. That's fine. You know, if I got a Capcom cab, I would imagine that I would have 4 Capcom games on here, but I would hope that I would have 4 different Capcom games, not just Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition, Street Fighter 2. I'm like, oh, dude, listen, I like Street Fighter 2, but damn, just give me one and let's move on. Give me Street Fighter 3. Give me Street Fighter Alpha. How about that, huh? Where's our Street Fighter Alpha? And I think that's the line. If you look at the Capcom line, the Capcom lineup of games, the Arcade One-Up, that's sort of a line they have not crossed yet, with the one exception being Dark Stalkers. Dipping their toe into that CPS2 line. Dark Stalkers, which Street Fighter 2 was it? Street Fighter 2, not Championship Edition. There was a Street Fighter 2 that was CPS2. Capcom Play System 2, that second generation of their arcade machines. But the real quantum leap is going to be that Street Fighter Alpha cab. Street Fighter Alpha 1, 2, 3, put them on a cabinet, freaking sell it all day long. I don't know what you're waiting for. It's 3 games that I just, people are dying for. Here's my money. Because I think that's that 90s leap that we're looking for. That was the quantum leap. You had Street Fighter 2, very classic. Those sprites are beautiful even to this day. But when you made that leap into Alpha, those sprites, those animations carried on through X-Men versus Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter, Marvel versus Capcom 1, Marvel versus Capcom 2. There was such longevity within that sprite set, if that makes sense, right? Those same Ryu looks the same, Alpha 1, 2, 3, and then all those versus games I just talked about. Once you venture into that, and you've done it with Marvel versus Capcom, right? You've done it. So what are you waiting for? Give us alpha. You've already given us Darkstalkers, obviously MVC, and then all the X-Men versus them. So we've had that, but we're waiting for alpha. I want an alpha cab. I know you can do it. You've already done it, right? So give it to us. What are you waiting for? That's a whole other cab. I mean, done. Sign the check. And you could have, and think about it, what you could do. And this is, I'm telling you, for PlayStation 2, this is what they did. Anyway, so let me just finish up this here. I pre-ordered this July 1st. I should get it. As soon as I get it, you're going to know exactly what I think about it. The day I open it up, we're going to do an unboxing. I'm going to do a review. I'm going to tell you exactly if this thing is garbage, I'm going to blow it up. I'm going to take it outside and shoot it with a gun. I'm going to tie a rock to it and throw it in the pond. Never to be displayed again, but most likely it's going to be fun. I mean, it looks good. I'm anxious to see the audio fidelity when it comes to the headphone jack. Check that out. I want to see if they still have a speaker. I'm going to let you know. And yes, we're going to take the back off this thing. I'm going to show you everything. I'm going to show you the new PCB because they have to have a new PCB to accommodate the power for the lip marquee, obviously. They're going to have accommodations for that audio out, which is going to be, for that for the headphone jack. So what does that new PCB look like? I'm excited to see that because you're talking about additional outputs, right? Power output and audio output. That's going to radically change. And just for your reference, let me show you, because I got all this crap just rolling around because I am that guy. I am. This is, let me stop sharing my screen so we can talk a little bit. So this is the PCBs in here for the Countercade. This is probably the one I turned Marvel vs. Capcom 3. This is the PCB there, but let me show you the PCB for the on-off button is still connected. Give me just one. Let me just bear with me one moment. So that's the outer shell. So this is your PCB for your Countercades. That's it. You got your power coming in. You've got this, and I'm looking for somebody to mod these things, hack them, something. Help me out on the software side. You got your micro USB slot there, or your cord there that I know you can plug into, and you can do some programming, I'd imagine. But here's all your inputs and outputs right here. For your on-off buttons, your volume control, your I/O, basically, it's all right there. Pretty tight little package, when you compare this to, what do I have for you here? This is going to be a Gen 1 / Gen 2. Do I have it labeled? Yeah, this is my Final Fight board. Okay, so you can see that size would actually be oriented this way. That's your difference there. Definitely a difference for sure. A huge lack of I/O on the original Gen 1, Gen 2 boards. You're just going to have your, you just had power in, and that's it. The Gen 3 boards obviously had the power out for the lip marquees and so on. You had your Wi-Fi antennas, which is cool. So yeah, so on this board, they're going to have to add probably somewhere up here, I would imagine. They're going to have power out for the lip marquee, and somewhere maybe down here, maybe the micro USB will go away, and you'll see the audio out, which I would imagine is just going to be, that another 3.5 millimeter headphone sort of cable that would plug into here and then go down into that into your control panel, or it could be a proprietary thing similar to some of the plugs that we've seen with the buttons and all that. I got so much crap down here. I need to open up a store. I may do that. I may open up a store on eBay, possibly with some of this overflow. I got a lot of PCBs and stuff just kicking around here for my projects that I may just sell, because I know that there's modders out there that are looking for this stuff, and I'm sitting on it, and I feel bad about it. I do. I'm serious. I feel bad about it. It's wrong. It's so wrong. I don't even know what this is. Let's open it up and see. What is this? Oh, what is this? I know what this is. I don't know what this is. Yeah, this is my. No, what is this? Is this the one for my? Hold on, let me tell you. Okay, so this is my new X-Men versus Street Fighter PCB. This is interesting to see. This is Gen 3 / Gen 4, I guess. So this is your Wi-Fi antenna here, okay? Which you got to have antenna, but that's just a standard connection there. You can just screw anything onto that. You got your I/O up here. You got your control panel would plug into there, and you got your power coming in there. You got your, where's it at? So with this board, see, the only problem I had, this board worked great. The only problem I had with this board is I did not have power out to the lit marquee. And that was an issue, and so I had to get a new board. So I got the new board in, and it's over there. And of course, because I am modding this cab, I'm not going to need these boards anymore. So maybe Fox is going to have to give some of these away. Maybe I'm really trying to push to 2K, 2,000 subscribers, and maybe we're going to have some giveaways. Maybe. I say maybe, like it's not going to happen, but it is going to happen. So I'm going to compile some stuff. We're going to start giving some stuff away, and I'm also going to stay tuned because I want to also have. Let me just go ahead and announce it. I don't give a shit. Whatever. So more to come, obviously, but in the push to 2K subs, what I want to do is when I hit 2K, I want to have a live stream, a 2K live stream. And in that live stream, you're going to be given instructions on what to comment within that live stream, or within the comment section. And I'm going to do a free commission for someone for whatever you want. I mean, if you want me to build you one of my legacy cab control panels, I'm going to do that. If you want a two-player control panel for your NBA Jam, for your Ninja Turtles, I don't know, Golden Axe, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. So I'm going to do an official announcement, but that's something I've been thinking about, and I just want to go ahead and just do it and just put it out there so that you know, because I'm really trying to push towards that 2K, trying to get to that next upper echelon. And thanks to all y'all. Thanks to every single one of y'all that have stuck with me and subscribed and watched my videos, stuck with me through these projects. I know they can be kind of long sometimes and arduous, but I really appreciate it. I really do. How's the MK Legacy Academy going? Really good. Look back at my videos, and I actually completed the biggest problem that was with that I thought plagued the Midway Legacy cabinet, and it was that control panel. It's fixed. It's done. The artwork isn't perfect, but it's done, and it's great. Really great. Oh, you're wondering? Okay, just bought one, so I was wondering. So yeah, so the control panel is done. What I did, James, so you know, look back 5 videos, I think. If you scroll back 5 videos, and you can also, for everybody who's curious, maybe you're new to the channel, go to my channel, go to my playlist. I have a Arcade 1-Up builds playlist. It is every build I've done for Arcade 1-Up. I probably got, what do I got? 29 videos, almost 30 videos within that playlist. You can watch those and see what I've done, and comment, make suggestions. What do you think? How can I do better? What would you want to see? And I think that's what I'm looking for, because I've got some more ideas out there. Obviously, the next thing on the docket is Alien versus Predator cab. It's going to be sweet. I love it. That's going to be awesome. I've got a racing cab. Well, it's a racing setup. We're going to kind of mimic what I think the perfect outrun sort of cabinet would have been. We're going to start with some. We're going to start with some generic. I wanted to go with something a little bit weird. So we got some of the cheapest racing cockpit setups you can find on eBay. So we're going to do that. I'm also got the Time Crisis cab coming up. This is all going to be part of that arcade build that I'm going to do. So I'm converting I'm going to convert a basement into an arcade, and you're going to come with me along for the ride every step of the way. It's going to be fun because we're going to go over stuff like, how do you add an outlet? I mean, really, if you want to have a bunch of arcades, you're going to have extra outlets. How do you do that? We're going to go through that step by step in an existing wall. Not like, hey, it's a brand new wall. Well, yeah, sure. If it's brand new, you can do whatever you want. But how do you add an outlet to a wall that's already there? We're going to go through that. We're going to lay everything out. Majority of the cabinets are going to go over there. We're going to have 2 over here for live streaming, but that's what we're going to do. And I'm actually pretty pumped. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to your feedback. You're going to be able to influence some of the cab placement, what you would like to see. We're going to have separate areas for countercades. Where do you think that should go? You're going to be able to vote and influence all this stuff. So it's going to be, hopefully it'll be a lot of fun. I mean, I think so, but you know, you don't have to spend any money. You just get to kind of play around and vote on stuff and let me know and we'll do it. I've seen those. I'm sorry. Talking to somebody else. Thank you. I appreciate it. Didn't know they made those. Where did I get this? This was, I want to say, it wasn't Target. I think it was Kohl's. Yeah. In my area, we have a Kohl's, but I'm sure it's a Sony t-shirt. I'm sure you can buy it anywhere. Because I saw your earlier review and it seems sort of just wondering if it's grown on you. Okay, James, here's the deal. Once I fixed the control panel, it became so much more comfortable. It really alleviated the majority of the issues I have with the cabinet. The other one is the height, which I'm going to build a custom riser. I'm going to do a video on that. It's going to be a riser, but a little bit different than what you've seen most people do. I wanted to tackle it from a little bit different angle, but basically I'm going to raise the cabinet up. So that's going to fix the other issues I have. Problem is that this is a lot to require of a customer to sort of make the product usable. But I mean, and all the pluses are still there. I love the monitor is great. The games list is pretty good. There's some that I wish they would have added, but for the most part, it's pretty good. The fact that there's 12 is good. But when I changed my control panel, dude, I'm telling you, it made a world of difference. It really did. Crazy how much really just a piece of MDF board. Amazing how that can change your whole playing experience. It's crazy. My good friend Stig, how are you? Cubert was awesome. Yes, Cubert was awesome. Thank you so much for stopping by, brother. And man, I finished for my buddy Stig, for my Star Wars fans out there, I finished the new Jedi Order. Mind blowing. Can't wait to talk about it on the Dark Council this Tuesday. Still no love for Cubert. I know. What's up with Cubert? What is up with Cubert? Listen, you have been that's my song you're singing. I am with you. The 90s nostalgia, some of those 90s arcade games, everybody trying to get in on that Mortal Kombat sort of thing. And it was Midway that gave us Primal Rage. You know, I have it on my my PS2 Midway Legacy, or not Legacy, but the Midway Collection Disc 2, I think it's on. Love it. It's a fun game. Really, really good. Really, really good. Yeah, I had a hell of a good time with that. Imagine if Doom and Doom 2 is an arcade. Why not? I mean, James, seriously, I mean, why not? I mean, why? There was a certain point where console gaming, it didn't surpass arcades, but it was equal to, I think. Why not? I mean, why not have, that would be interesting to see sort of that first-person shooter, which they haven't necessarily, I mean, Big Buck Hunter is sort of a fixed position, but that first-person shooter cab, this is what they do. They take Doom 1 and 2, and they give you a gun peripheral. Give us that send-in gun technology, but with Doom 1 and 2. So it's not just a controller. That's the arcade difference, right? That's the experience that you get with an arcade machine that you don't get at home with a PS whatever controller or an Xbox controller. You just don't get that. That would be insane. Yes, it would. Absolutely. Shoot with a 50 cal. If I had a 50 cal, yes. I got a 45. I got a 7.5 by 55 Swiss sniper rifle. I do not, unfortunately. Well, yet. I've had my eyes on a Barrett for quite some time. Quite some time indeed. Yes, Stig, exactly. Midway had some awesome games. I don't know if you were on my, if you looked at my stream 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I have the PS2 collection over here in the States, Stig, 3 discs, and it was just nothing but Midway arcade goodness. Wonderful, wonderful games list for sure. Shoot with 50 cal. Hey, Mike, appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much. I need to add more content to Twitter. Twitter is really good for putting links out to videos, so I'm going to start doing that. Also, speaking of Twitter, well, speaking of links to videos, speaking of this link to this video, let me apologize to everybody right now. What I did was I set up this live stream when I was in California this week, and I set it up for 9 o'clock, not realizing that, you know, I was in California, so 9 o'clock was actually midnight. So I reached out to someone to be on the stream tonight, and they couldn't because they were like, man, I'd like to, but it's midnight. It's, you know, I need to be in bed. And I'm like, oh, and I just thought they didn't want to be on the stream. And then I'm like, oh, you dummy, you moron. You set it up for 9 in California. So I changed it the last minute, but I apologize for everybody that was sort of confused by that because, you know, it was my own bonehead mistake. I didn't know Lowe's. Yes, Lowe's and Home Depot sold arcade one-ups. They do. They do. Is it hold on now? You're saying it's available now? Hold on. Let's not mislead the group. Let's not mislead the chat here, right? I'm looking it up right now, everybody. We're gonna get to the bottom of this right freaking now, bro. I do this live. I don't care. Because I think we need to know. I think, you know, you said that, and I was thinking Home Depot. I don't know that. Look at this. Let me share. Let me go ahead and share the screen. Okay, so Austin Caldwell gets the cookie for this one. Check it out, kids. You're gonna be blown away. If you've got a Lowe's card, oh, now's the time to burn it up. Check it out. Oh crap. Am I sharing the wrong one? I apologize. Let me kill this. Sorry, guys. Just 1 second. I shared the wrong tab. Here it is. Here we go. Okay. Yeah. So look at this. Look at this here. I love I love their description. Arcade one-up. Black arcade cabinet. Why is it gotta be black? What the hell is wrong? Why is it gotta be black? Damn, Lowe's. Racist much? Yeah, so they have, looks like they've got legacy cabs. There you go. Look at that. Got them in stock. Bestseller. Can you even get this? Look at that. Add to cart. Look at this guy coming into the live chat, saving the day. I have noticed that it's kind of funny that the Midway Legacy or the Capcom Legacy cabinet has just disappeared. I don't know if I've noticed that or not. Yeah, I mean it's just not there. But you got the Atari, which is just okay. So the Atari is out of stock. Atari's out of stock. All right, that's fine. That's fine. Is a Namco in? It is in stock. So get your Namco. Get your $67 a month. $79. Oh, if you apply for a Lowe's credit card, you can save $20. Ooh, let me sign up for that crap. But no, there you go. So you can get your black arcade one-up cabinet right here for $379. Yeah. Listen, if you're looking for a Midway Legacy cabinet, here's a place to get it because I don't know that anybody else has it in stock right now. Yeah, so there you go. All right, buddy. Listen, Austin, because you didn't give me a super chat, but you gave me information, and I was always told when I was a kid that information was power, and because of that, you get this little tidbit right here.
Crossover combination. Perfect. Game's over. Time to call it quits.
Nice. So thank you, man, once again. Appreciate it. Austin coming in. Clutch, saving the day. Lowe's has arcade one-ups, but they're all called black cabinets. Okay. Arcade Mod-Up sells those slats that will raise. Yes, so Arcade One-Up, that's a good thing. Arcade Mod-Up has a kit. They have spacers, they have longer bolts, and they have a replacement panel. If you watch my video, you have to make a replacement panel to make up that half-inch difference that you create when you move your control panel up, right? Here's a problem with Arcade Mod-Up. $40 is, it's not bad. It's a little expensive, but it's not bad. They didn't just make a black panel. They thought they had to make one that pertained to each cabinet. So you've got a Capcom version and you've got a Midway version. And the Midway Legacy cabinet version, I don't like the way it looks. They should have just made a black panel and sold it to everybody, whether it's Midway or Capcom. It wouldn't matter. So I don't know why they went that route. It's a little weird, but yeah, it is there. So Arcade Mod-Up, I did their 19-inch monitor upgrade. I liked it. Worked out nice. So check it out. Check it out for sure. C-Mart, what's up, brother? Wondering what was the main issues they worked to correct if Arcade One-Up was fixed. I don't know. Curious myself. I think we're going to get a lot more information once E3 comes out for sure. That's what I think. You ever play Kid? Hell yeah, I played Kid Icarus. Mega Man, obviously, Super Mario. Yeah, you get Nintendo beautiful. I mean, that's just that you're talking about some classics here, buddy. Legend of Zelda, Hyper Dimension. No, I will say I have not played Hyper Dimension Neptunia. Michael, I have not, sir. I have not. Not that one. But I played Kid Icarus, Mega Man, Super Nintendo, and Legend of Zelda. Faux show. Absolutely. Stig, what are you talking about here, buddy? Dark Nest trilogy next. Okay, really? Okay. It brings in the following Legacy of the Force series. Okay. I will. Well, I've got to move on to something because I've actually wrapped that up. The last book was I did the audio version, and that was 6 hours, Stig. It was over 6 hours. That was all day. But luckily I was traveling all day, so I was able to take it in. You have 75 Commodore 64 games, originals. Still work. Some of them are Midway. Really? You know, Stig, we need to do that retro game live stream, don't we? We do. And you need to have those. Listen, you need to have that collection ready. I know you're normally off camera, but if you could take those games and put those on camera, I think a lot of people would be interested to see that for sure. Have you bought any of those mini consoles? Yes, I have. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I have, so I showed this before, Stig, but I'll show you again. I'll turn on my little light here. I have the PlayStation Mini. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. I've got the PlayStation Mini for one of my Countercade projects here. And then, of course, the NES Classic. I keep it in the box because it was so expensive when it came out, and I paid retail for it, but then it was like crazy and nobody could get one. But yeah, I got one of these. I love this. I did not get the Sega Genesis because I've already got those games like 2 or 3 times over. I've got PSP collections. I have the PS3 collection, which has, man, just like almost all the Genesis games. I have the PS4 version also. So I'm a bigger Sega fan than I think I let on, because I've also got those on my iPad, and I use a Nimbus controller when I travel. I game that way, and I've got some Neo Geo titles. I've got Streets of Rage and Shinobi and Golden Axe, the first one, on my iPad, and I game that way when I can't take all this other stuff with me. So need to get on Twitter. I'm back. 19K Fox is back on Twitter. Against my better judgment, I'm back on Twitter. But what can you say? Everybody makes mistakes, right?
What the hell?
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up.
That's right. We're going to wrap this up. Hour and a half. Man, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I have so much going on right now. I'm excited to get some of these projects wrapped up. Move on to the next one. We're going to go through some fun stuff. So I got the racing cab. We're going to build kind of on a budget. I'm going to show you what to spend your money on and what to not spend your money on. You can spend $900 on a racing seat, or you could spend more money on your racing wheel, which is way more important than the damn seat you're sitting in. So I got some budget stuff going on. I got some mid to high price stuff going on. And then we're gonna build an awesome racing cab. Obviously, the Alien versus Predator cab is up next. I've been teasing that for far too long. We got the Legacy pretty much wrapped up. I'm gonna finish up a riser, probably do a quick video on that and send that out to you. But yeah, we're gonna work on the monitor for the AVP cab next, and then we are going to get into the nuts and bolts of the actual control panel. You've seen a lot of these. I think if you follow these other channels where they're talking about these, I think it's what's the name? Oh, see now, Intech. Intech has a couple arcade one-up control panels that have an NES in it. They have a Sega Genesis in it, and that's great. But they're not even available. You can't buy those. So there's a lot of that going on. But the idea that I love about that is it incorporates everything within the control panel. We're gonna do the same thing with the Alien versus Predator. So I want to spend a lot of time going over that, because we're going to take all the guts inside this and we're going to put it in our stock X-Men versus Street Fighter control panel. That's what we're going to do. So when we do that, we're going to have our HDMI out. We're going to have our power. We're going to have all that stuff. So we got to figure out a way that's going to make this hopefully, well, it's going to have to. It's going to have to fit in the stock location. And I want to be able to cover all this up and make everything nice and neat and tidy and awesome, because the interface in this is amazing. It's really, really nice. And you've got Wi-Fi capability for leaderboards, for software updates, for maybe even prevention, eventually adding games, maybe. So anyway, so that'll be part 3. Part 2 is going to come up next. You're going to have the monitor, everything I did to the monitor to get that ready to go. Part 3 will be this. It's going to be very involved, very technical. But once we get that locked down, part 4 is going to be side art, riser art, and gameplay. That's where we're at. So anyway, we're gonna work on that. We're gonna finish up our modifications to the Raiden cab. Want to make sure that I get that information to you, because there's a little bit of funkiness going on with the PS Classic. Trying to get some of the ROMs and some of the encoders to work with that. So we're gonna work through that, get a solution to you, and let you know what I come up with from there. But anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. Y'all have a great day. Y'all have a great week. Don't work too hard. I mean, work hard enough to earn your money, but don't work too hard. And I will see you next time.